let's talk about journaling. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shyla Akhtar and I'm a licensed mental health counselor. And today we're going to discuss journaling, or as a lot of people like to call it, expressive writing. Now, journaling is a very effective tool for anxiety, but it also has a lot of other benefits, right? There has been extensive resources done on journaling. I want to go down the list on describing what journaling is, and then I'm going to give you some benefits and then some tips, and then how it could benefit for people experiencing anxiety, and then at the end I'm going to explain how to journal, right? Sometimes just sitting down and writing and whatever you're feeling or rambling on, it's helpful to release a lot of the things, but it's not exactly effective journaling if you're looking for something more. So I will give you some tips at the end. Now, to go back to the beginning, what is journaling? So when you journal, you are using the analytical and rational left side of your brain. So that means while you're focused with the left side of your brain, your right side, the creative side, it is going pretty much everywhere. It has a freedom to roam, and it has a freedom to be creative. It has the freedom to do whatever it wants, which is very exciting because it releases your creative side, right? So that's what happens when you're journaling. So some of the benefits, let's talk about some of the benefits. One of the benefits of journaling is that it will help you to meet your goals and to improve the quality of your life. What does that mean? That means you could use journaling to write down a lot of your goals and what you would like your life to look like, or just process a lot of your thought process when it comes to your goals, right? And then improve the quality of your life along. If you write about your goal, there's a more likely chance that you will probably get more action into your goal as well. Another thing about journaling is that it will help you to clear your mind, right? There's a lot of things that's happening in here for us, and then sometimes so many things that it's so unclear, or we are very unfocused, we're very unalert and unaware, and that could be very problematic, because if we don't have a clear mind, we probably can't make clear decisions. So journaling will help you clear your mind. It could also help you make connection between your thoughts, your feelings, and your behavior. One of the tools in therapy that we tell most of our clients is that what you think is how you're gonna feel and how you're gonna behave. This is a pattern, right? What you think is how you're gonna feel and you're gonna behave. So journaling could help you make those connections. If you're having negative thought, most likely you're gonna feel negative and you're gonna behave in a negative way, right? So journaling could help you notice those patterns, right? If you're able to notice the pattern and work on the pattern to make it more positive, it will boost your mood and your affect, right? How your emotion, and that's another benefit of journaling. Another benefit of journaling is a sense of well-being, right? That's also there. It will reduce a lot of the mental health symptoms that's related to depression, anxiety, anything else you could think of at the moment. That's the two that's coming to me, but it could help you to reduce some of the symptoms, such as negative thinking or anxious thought, irrational thoughts, or any of those other symptoms that tend to come with mental health conditions, right? Another thing with journaling is that you are working on your memory, right? It helps you with your working memory. You kind of have to get very deep down into your brain to really like go into your memory and your experience and write those things down, and it could help you improve your working memory, right? Improve your cognitive function, which is really important when you're trying to reduce symptom of cognitive distortion or reduce symptom of irrational thinking. So going along that line, sometimes journaling could also put things into perspective for you, right? Sometimes when we are in here and we're thinking only from our mindset, we're not seeing the whole picture. We're only thinking from our point of view. So journaling can take us out and let us kind of observe the experience that we had in a third person, right? So it put things into perspective. When you're journaling and you get all these things going on, it could also help you to sleep better because you're getting a lot of your thoughts out of your mind, and it could help you manage your stress better, right? So these are great benefits. And this is just some of the benefits that I'm mentioning. There's so many more benefits you could get from it, from journaling. But due to the time limit, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tool on how to use journaling, how journaling could help for anxiety. As you know, my specialty is anxiety, so I think this is a good time to tell you how journaling could be helpful for anxiety. The first thing I want to mention is that when you journal and you write down your thoughts and process, it is actually very much mindfulness technique, right? So you are physically touching the book, physically touching the paper, physically touching a pen. So you're using your touch sense, right? And then when you're looking at it and you're writing, you're also using your eyesight, which is seeing senses, right? So it is a very mindfulness technique, and you do come in the moment type of process, right? You're in the moment, you're writing and you're feeling, you're touching. And then the most important part is when you write a word down, you are actually looking at the word and you're stopping your thought for a second and you're processing that word. So it is very powerful because you're processing every single word and you are stopping your brain for a second and slowing it down. When you slow down your brain and you slow down your thoughts, you could actually see more clearly, be more concentrated, be more focused on what you're writing. So for anxiety, as you know, when our mind is racing and our body is racing, that's very powerful because it will slow us down, right? So that means you'll be more in a calm, clear, in the moment state of feeling. So that's one of the biggest benefit for anxiety. The second one is it releases pent up emotion and stress, right? And that's huge because, sometimes we don't have anybody to go and talk to if you don't have a therapist or you don't feel comfortable going to your friends or family with certain thought process. This is a good time, a good way to release those emotion and stress and let it go, right? Journaling could also help you explore your experience with anxiety. You could write down something experience related to anxiety and then challenge it. That's the biggest thing. Challenge those anxiety and those anxious experience. Some way you could challenge it is by doing a pro and a con, or for or against some of the thought, right? When you have anxiety, you have irrational thoughts. So challenge those irrational thoughts with pros and cons. Another thing you could journal about for anxiety is to write about struggles and the success for it. Success is important because sometimes when we write about all negative things, we are not seeing the positive side. So write down all the positive things as well. Another thing you could do is that with journaling is you're very self-aware. So you're becoming self-aware. As you're writing down a lot of your thoughts, you're becoming more and processing your pattern, your action, your behavior, and your feeling is going to help you become very, very self-aware, right? And then once you're more self-aware, you could track your progress. As you begin to journal more regularly, you could read through every pages, like go back and reevaluate different pages and see the improvement you have done, right? And track the progress. And when you do all of these things, when you journal, one of the biggest things is that it will reduce a lot of the physical symptoms that you might feel. For example, your breathing might become more calm. You're not gonna sweat as much. The anxious symptoms, physical symptoms that tend to come. So these are the great benefit for journaling for anxiety, right? So some of the tips to journal effectively, right? You could sit down, you could ramble on forever and then reread those, but sometimes that might not feel like it's enough. So some of the tips to journal effectively is, right, find a safe space. Find a safe space to journal, right? And write often. Journal often, like maybe 3 to 5 times a week, even if it's for 5 minutes. Just get into the practice of it. What you practice will go stronger. That's the thought, right? Reflect on your writing. Writing is great, but if you don't reflect on it, it might not be as powerful or empowering. So reflect on your writing. Journal, keep your journal private. Sometimes sharing it is great, but keeping it private, it's something that's yours, right? It's yours, and it's more personal. So another thing is, a tip is that you could start small. Sometimes people feel like they have to journal some big revelation. You don't have to. Start really small, and actually with time and practice and intention, it will grow bigger and you'll find more meaningful things in your journal. But start small, something as small as like gratitude, writing about your gratitude, or affirmation, or just writing about the experience. If you experience a traumatic event, or not even traumatic event, if you experience a happy experience, just write about it. Write about how you feel. What were your thought process? What was it that caused it? Thought, feelings, and behavior. Remember, those things are important. Write about challenging anxiety, right? The irrational part that I talked about earlier. So write about the challenge. Write down your anxiety. I am anxious to go outside. Write that down and then challenge it. Why are you anxious? What are causing that challenge to go outside? And then write down the benefit of going outside. You have to, once you write down the benefit, it will challenge that thought of going outside. I'm using outside as an example. Another thing you could do is that write down your work, activity, or hobbies, and then write down the progress. So you could do analysis, and it could help you to write down your progress for those things, right? So again, I could ramble on forever about journaling, but the basic thing about journaling is that it could be very effective. It could be a good way of releasing a lot of the energy, and then being very powerful. One thing I told my client is to be symbolic about it. If you have a very strong emotional feeling about let's say experience, and you want that feelings to go away, you want to let it go, write down that feeling in a piece of the journal, then rip it off and then burn it somewhere safe, right? Like a sink. Nowhere it could catch fire in your house. Burn it or shred it or rip the paper apart and throw it around. Whatever works, but be symbolic about it. It will release it. And that's pretty much it for journaling. Like I said, I could go on forever, and I don't want to go on forever right now, so I will let it be. But if you do have any question or any concern or any other ideas about journaling, feel free to comment in the comment section below, and then I will definitely answer. If you have any other topic you would like for me to explore, also feel free to ask in the comment section. I will definitely get back to it. With that being said, I will see you guys next time, and good luck journaling. It's very fun.